to the podcast, episode 198. You heard her. We are back. I am your boy, International Walt.
It's your girl, Taj, the co-hostess with the mostest.
The beautiful co-hostess with the mostest. She is back with me for another episode, 198. Just 2 from 200, y'all. Like, just light work. Catch us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, and Player FM. It's a great day today. Talk to me. Let me know how you feel. What's going on?
I'm feeling great, but let me just tell y'all know how, you can be very protective of people in your life or something.
Sure.
Whether it's your kids, for me.
Are you talking to me or the people?
I'm talking to you and the people.
Sure.
But for me, it's my husband, it's my kids, meaning my nieces and nephews, my sisters, like I don't play about them. So, we kind of have a reference point that we use for certain topics. Like, we like to have good conversations. Sometimes it just flows and it bounces off, but we have a reference point. And looking at the reference point, it includes a word, and I thought it said dink, which is my nephew's nickname. I just said, what we talking about my nephew for, or our nephew? Like, wait a minute, like, what's going on? But then I realized it's just my bad eyes. But I am feeling great today. Thank you.
It would have been something positive. I wouldn't have put my nephew out on blast.
No, I know, but in my mind, it was not so much what we talking about it for, but like, what you know out there, I don't know, like, what's going on? Like, what you about to tell me? So it kind of like caught me off guard. Like, dang, he a topic of conversation today. What's happening with our baby?
That would be along the lines of, I know something you don't know, and I'm about to like make an announcement.
Yeah.
Like,
it was just
going to the Marines.
It was just shocking.
Like
yeah. But it's like my radar just went up. Like, wait a minute. Like, ruh-roh. But I am feeling great. Mentally, I'm a 9, I'll say. And not because anything is wrong. I think it's that fourth quarter feeling. Thank you. What is it with the sound effects? I don't know. I don't know why I did that.
Chop it.
Yeah, I think it's just this. I'm just saying the sound effects. I think it's the fourth quarter, not fourth quarter blues, because I don't feel blues. It's like the year starts to come down on you. And that's it. So it's just a 9. I'm just looking forward. I am looking forward to enjoying any downtime that I have for like the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Downtime with my baby, downtime with my baby, downtime with just myself. I'm just looking forward to having a relax. Like, I'm not looking for no hustle and bustle of anything unless we hustle and bustling through the airport to get to a peaceful destination. And he gets to the airport 3 hours early, so we don't usually have to hustle and bustle.
Flights. Yeah, we ain't missing no flights. We're going to the lounge. We're going to, chill out and relax.
I like a lounge. Yeah. But yeah, so that's where I'm a 9. Then finances, an 8, grateful. I appreciate you. I know you are the head of our house and you manage the finances, but we had a really good conversation the other day, and at first I felt like it was maybe going a little left, like you thought I was questioning your headship, but I think you were receptive and just listening to the information that I shared.
Anytime I feel like I'm being questioned, I feel like it's me first. So I will shut up and listen, which is why I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I learned that, just shut up and listen. And I told you, I was like, I heard you, I received it. I don't quite understand. I don't think I remember saying, I don't quite understand what you're saying right now. But, because that's just your first time explaining it, I'm not really getting it. But you went into it again, and it was like, all right, we'll put a pin in it and talk about it later.
So finances, thank God. Just thank God. That so many people don't have a nest egg. Like when we talked about that before, most Americans don't have $400 saved, and I'm grateful that we don't fall into that category. But I'm also grateful for whatever blessings God gives us, and that He helps us to maintain.
Yes.
Work is a 9, not because again anything is wrong. I ain't been there all week up until y'all seeing this pot. Well, kind of had a little bit of work today, but like I said, looking forward to any downtime I can take advantage of. I don't want a mind that feels like it's overwhelmed. Like, and that's why I was intentional about taking some time off, because a lot going on, all good things, but you gotta take a step away sometimes. So
look at it like try to a lot of people try to rush and do a lot in the fourth quarter because they know the top of the year is coming up and they want to be or feel like they're in a good place, but enjoy the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like, enjoy the trip. I mean, going to see the kids, enjoy Christmas, like all that, the downtime with Thanksgiving, like enjoy all that shit. Soak it up because the top of the year is coming and it's going to be the same old,
God
status
willing.
quo. Yeah, God willing.
And then physically, I feel great. I'm gonna just say I'm a 9. Nothing feels wrong. A little lethargic. But yeah, I feel overall
lethargic.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Really?
Yeah, that's why when you came home, like I wasn't supposed to go to work today, but I did, and then after that, I went into the mental space that I had planned to be in all day. I got on the sofa, wrapped myself up in the blanket, turned on a good TV program.
To be honest with you, when he came home from the gym, when I was leaving for the gym, I was like, oh, she just seemed like I didn't do nothing to you. I had just seen you for 30 seconds. So it was like, I'm seeing you in passing, but I'm like, she don't seem like her jovial self today. Like, so maybe the drive or work just wore on her because she didn't have to go today.
It was, I wasn't mentally prepared, but I was able to pivot because, again, I wasn't supposed to do that today. And it was a lot of, I talked for an hour, like doing a Medicaid literacy presentation to a group of people transitioning back into the community from incarceration. So it was probably a classroom of 12 people, men and women. And yeah, so I mean, that's a lot of peopling. And then after that, that we offered one-on-one assistance for those that need it. And it was, more peopling. And normally, how I am, I'm prepared. Like I do my job. I look forward to doing it. It was kind of like literally a last minute thing. Like I got a text message at 8:41. So it was like, okay, I had to go into go mode, and I did a great job. So then when I got home, I wasn't in a bad mood at all. It was like, I need to decompress. And I felt good. By the time you came back I felt great because I balled up on that sofa. I didn't go to sleep or anything. I didn't feel sleepy. It just felt like today my plan was to just woosah and chill. I didn't want to be laying in the bed, but I just wanted to relax. So that's what I did the latter part of the afternoon. It felt good coming home, being able to chill, watch TV, not getting on my laptop, and just having that. A lot of times, how our schedule is, we work, when you come home, we do some workout or gym or walk or something, and then by the time I get off work, then I'm cooking, and then we eat, and then it's like, okay, we come upstairs, so I don't really have that transition between work and then dinner time. And today I had that, and it felt good. So I'm sorry if I gave you bad vibes. I wasn't in a bad mood at all.
I wasn't tripping because, again, I was on my way out the door. I had just seen you for 30 seconds, so I knew I wasn't the effect of it. I just thought that, work and you didn't have to go, and then you drive, and I know how driving does me. Yeah. It silences me for a half hour.
And I was very hungry when I came home. I hadn't eaten anything. So I was like, you know what, let me hurry up and get in this house. And yeah, but I felt good once I got in the house in the mental space that I had planned to be all day. But no complaints. Everything happens for a reason. For whatever reason, God wanted me to go and do what I did today. And I did it well, and that, it was a done deal. Mm. How are you?
I'm good.
Wait. How are you?
I'm good. Psychopath. Mentally, I am a 9. Mentally, I'm in a good headspace. Always a little bit of room for growth. Finances, 8. Bigger room for growth. Work is a 10. Work's going good. That's all I can say about that right now.
Hopefully, still funny.
What, work? Mm-hmm. It's always funny because of, the characters that I work with. So it's even going to be more funnier tomorrow. I'm going to have a story tomorrow when I come back. But yeah, it's going to be more funnier tomorrow.
I got to sit back because you make me look like a giant.
Why?
When I'm sitting up like this and you sitting back, it looks like I got a little fella with me.
Well, I'll be relaxing, chilling. I'm not all stuck up. So yeah, work's what did I say work was?
You said work was a 10.
Work was a 10. Physically, I feel like a 10 too. Glad I made it to the gym today. Didn't make it yesterday. Was hanging out doing some lover stuff. But yeah, so feel great. Wows and woes, stops and goes, ups and downs, blacks and whites.
I'll say my woe is, and I shouldn't. My woe is just knowing that people that I love are going through transitions in their life, and this may not be their best season. So, I empathize with them and just sending all the love and support that I can. And sometimes certain things when people going through things, it don't require a whole lot of conversation, but I just send reminders to people that I love. Like I just might say, I love you, just to remind people you are loved, like in that space. Because somebody could be in the middle of having a breakdown and crying, and they get a ding and it just says I love you, and that's like a virtual hug. And so that's like a whoa, that's just been on my mind. My wow is just being able to celebrate our love, our commitment. Like it's just it feels weird that like I guess some people can say like the longer you're married with somebody, it just becomes like, oh, like it's just another year. Like I don't know at what point you get to anniversaries where it just feels like we've been doing this. Like
they said 7 or 8 if you're married.
Really?
Yeah,
and you just feel like it ain't nothing?
7 and 8, you're just like, eh. And then 10 obviously is a big one. It's like a milestone. And
I wasn't thinking that. I'm thinking like at 40, do it not feel like anything? No, 7 or 8?
You can Google this.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just shocked.
Yeah, 7 or 8 is the year that you start to be like, eh.
For me, I was extremely emotional because just thinking of the love. I mean, you saw how I got a little emotional. I thought you was leaving me.
No. Which made me feel like shit because it's like, does this girl not know how much I want to be around or love her? Like,
but then but also was I do know that, but I didn't know if you knew how you have always been. Quality time has always been your number one love language. And I like a good date. I like to get fancy. I like, but lately I haven't been in that space. Like I just love being with you. And yesterday, for our anniversary, it was like, you thought I was lying. I'm like, let's get pizza. Like I even told Toya, like I was like, even when I was at the salon the other day, like, what y'all doing for your anniversary? I was like, I told him I just want some pizza or something. Let's chill. Like I didn't care about the whole big shindig of doing anything. I just wanted to be with you, in your skin, in your aura, in your breath, in your warmth. Like I just wanted to be with you. And I was gonna say, I think I was trying to fight it and being understanding that you do gotta work. I know you want a new job, but I couldn't be a rock at that moment. I melted. It was
it's
like,
okay, babe. Again, I drove from work home.
Just to give y'all some insight, he had to go to work in the morning, but I knew he was coming home. But he really had a lot of work to do. So when he came home and bought coffee, I wasn't sure. He kind of looked like, damn, like, not that he was upset about leaving work, but I knew he had a lot on his plate. So I was trying to be understanding, like, you can go back to work if you have to. I understand. My mouth was saying that, but my heart was like, don't leave me. Like, I don't want you to go. And he didn't. We had a great day together. So, yeah, that's my wild, just, feeling the extra emotion of just loving you more and more and being so grateful for the space that we're in, and just pray that God continues to bless not just us individually, but bless our marriage, bless our friendship, protect our marriage, protect our friendship, because the devil be busy. And not that, we know, but sometimes it's the devil, what you don't see, that can be more danger to you.
Sneak up on you.
Yeah, so that's my wow and my woe. What about you?
My wow, I don't have any wows. I don't have any woes. I always get them mixed up. The words look the same. But I don't have any woes. My wows, to piggyback on yours, it feels so good to be in love. Still in love with you decades later. Like, it's something we never saw growing up, but it's something we did. And I'm proud of it, and I'll always honor it. And it just feels so great to look at you and be like, damn, like, I will still crash out over her. Like, I will still lose my shit over her. And it never gets old. Like I said before, I get to marry Tasha. Like, y'all might not revere her the way I do, but okay, like, yeah, this is what's up right here. So it just feels so good to look at you and still be in love with you. Not like I love you because you've been around a long time and I know you're a down ass bitch, but you know, I love you for that
true.
reason. But I love you because I'm in love with you because of the things we do, the shit we talk about, the time we spend together, the way we adore each other when we intimate, like those moments. So yeah, it just feels so good to be in love with you decades later.
You know, one thing that I love about us, and this may sound a little crazy, I also respect it about people that I'm never happy about anybody not staying in a relationship, right? Like that's like, so it's weird to say that, but oftentimes people stay in relationships whether it's because they have kids and they're like, oh, we got to stay for the kids, or and you be miserable, or for an image, because it's like you don't want people to see. And not that people, I mean, in this social media world, it's like people think they got to see everything going on in your life. But even outside of social media, people in your immediate life, sometimes people stay because whether they may feel embarrassed or whatever. But I respect people who, for their own happiness, for whatever their own reasons, if they feel like it's the right decision, they don't stay in a space that they feel is negative because of those factors. And for us, in reverse, I love the fact that we are together because we really want to. It's not because like we done been doing this all this time, we might as well stay together. Or like when people say it's cheaper to keep her, not even thinking of finances, but like breaking up with somebody is hard, especially if you have multiple decades of being together. Yeah. And sometimes people may sacrifice and say, you know, like they say, the devil you know is worse than the devil you don't know. And it's like, I would rather stay and have this little bit of discomfort than to break away. But that's not, I love the fact that ain't why we together. Like we want to be here. We want to be in this space. We like you said, we would crash out over each other still. And it's like, so I really love, like when I look at you, it's like, not like I like what, you know, the like the young people say, which I love to say too, like I love it here. Like physically and figuratively and literally, like I love it here. By your side, in your life, together, like I love it here. And I love that about us, that we're not just together because we don't want people to be like, damn, they broke up, or we would be embarrassed if we broke up. Like that ain't where our hearts is. And I love that about us.
You know, when you meet your soulmate, and it's a different thing. And I think that's what happened for us. That's just, and again, maybe being in it so long and it being, you know, ebbs and flows. Like we had our peaks and valleys, and I don't like to see, although you spoke about people who have the will and the power to recognize they're in a situation that they don't want to be in and leave. I just feel like the things that's available and I know everybody doesn't do therapy, but if you've been with somebody for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, I just feel like, you know, it's what you know, like try to exhaust all options first. That's what I feel like. I'm not going to tell people what to do, but just try to, you owe it to that person in the relationship of what you gave your life to for 3 decades, for however long, you know, 5 years, 10 years, like however long, but you gave your life to it. So owe it that. So when you do leave, if you do leave, you can say, I exhausted all options. This was the right thing to do.
Yeah. You know what I think is interesting? We heard, you know, we was listening to one of our favorite other podcasts, and they talked about somebody talked about doing couples therapy with their girlfriend. I mean, this is like a long-term girlfriend of like maybe 4 or 5 years. But I think that's admirable. It says, and one of the things that I learned
because we don't know, and people don't know, and it's about time that people admit that.
Yeah,
that action shows that.
It's one of those things that in one of the shows I was recently watching, Reasonable Doubt. If y'all haven't watched it on Hulu, it's an amazing show. Even though they're not paying us for promo, they should. But when they went to couples therapy, the therapist asked, like, let me just ask y'all, are y'all here to uncouple or to resolve? And I like, that's a great question. If your efforts are not, and this was a married couple, but thinking of like a boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, if you want this relationship to progress and you realize there's some things you need to discuss. I just thought that was admirable. Not that I haven't heard of people doing that, like people that I know personally who aren't married, like going to couples therapy. But I think in this society, I've seen a therapist say this, right? And I thought it was very important. And you've said this before too. Not everything requires therapy. Therapy is extremely important and extremely beneficial. But I think sometimes people rely on telling people you should go to therapy when it's like, nah, maybe I just needed to talk to you as my friend.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I just needed to get it off my chest. Maybe just your opinion or your love or your support or your comfort may help me. But there is a place for therapy. And I think in this time and generation, we are realizing it more and more, which can be a great thing. So again, not just married people, but boyfriend and girlfriend, if you feel like you want this I think that's a great thing to do if this is a long-term relationship and you feel like you want it to progress to whether marriage or just continue to be an even longer term relationship.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a tactic too, which is a therapist would do. And it's a great tactic because it's disarming. Like even just hearing that, if you go into therapy and even if you pissed or mad about something, that question alone immediately sets the tone because you could be going in there with some attitude of like, I don't want her or I don't want him, but that's it. The answer to the question immediately before we even talk, are you here to uncouple or resolve, sets the tone. Yeah. It's like, that's the tactic of the therapist to say, okay, like, y'all tell me exactly. Even if you're mad, you got to answer this question now. So all through your madness, do you want to leave this woman? Do you want to leave this man? And you probably will be like, no.
And it kind of will
even though you went there with that kind of attitude, like, I'm sick of this shit. Like,
and I think it would make you have a very introspective moment to be like, just to hear it, like, wait, like, if you know you don't want to uncouple, it, like you said, it disarms you to be like, oh, like, no,
the resolving yourself to be like, I'm mad at this nigga or I'm mad at this bitch. I don't want to leave her. Like, I don't want to leave this nigga.
Hopefully will kind of make you think about, now as you continue the session, your responses to things, your perspective on questions or topics that are asked, because the tone is already set. Like, okay, we've established we don't want to uncouple, so let's move forward in such a manner. Doesn't mean it's going to be all butterflies and roses, but we said we don't want to uncouple, so let's work towards what we do want.
This wasn't a therapy talk, but we're talking about couples, so we're going to segue into, if you, when we saw this on another platform, another app. So if you are going out to a party with your husband or boyfriend, and you happen to get there, and there's a person in the room that you slept with, and do you think that you should immediately tell your husband or boyfriend, and is it a violation if you don't? As a couple.
So
you had no idea that this person was going to be there, so you couldn't pre-warn your man, like in the car. You have to decide, like, on the spot. Should I tell him that the guy across the room saw me and I slept with him 6 years ago or 10 years ago, or do I just don't say nothing and hope the guy doesn't come over here?
Nah, I think for me, I would want to say something, because one, and I know you always say, like, don't think about just us in situations, but I have to think about, like, I don't want nobody to ever try to play you or feel like they got one up on you. So I don't want nobody to come over and be like, oh, what's up, Tosh? How you doing? And, like, in their mind, they be thinking, like,
well, I feel his energy because I'm a man, to be like, oh, like, that's energy like you might have smashed before.
Yeah, or him to just be looking at you like, like, she with this one, like nah, like you're not gonna approach me in a way to disrespect my man. So I do feel like, and it's weird because as a woman, like, I don't want to say it would be embarrassing, but it would really have to be a humbling moment. And I think in those situations, it also depends on your relationship, like, because you kind of got to go into friend mode, like, all right, babe, just to let you know, like,
exactly,
yeah, like, you're 6 o'clock.
That's exactly,
you know, in the past. We knew each other, and I think that's enough to say for you to know. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to approach him or be looking, but I'm just letting you know in the case that he step over here. This is my friend
talking to me right now, giving me a lookout, a heads up. So I'm gonna appreciate that in the moment, and act accordingly. But I'm gonna appreciate the heads up because again, I don't want no nigga approaching me from across the room thinking he can play with me a certain way or play with you a certain way. Like you may have played with her like that 15, 20 years ago, but you're not gonna play with
20,
her like
it would
that.
have to be 25.
Whatever, but I'm just saying over 25 years ago, but you're not gonna play with her now. Or me. So just the fact that you might come over and think, let me speak, or just like be in her face or something, or smile a certain way, or give her certain eyes. Nah, I will pick up on that shit and I would feel some type of way if you didn't say, because I'm gonna think like, what the fuck is he looking at you like that for? Like, did y'all have some type of situation? And if you say yeah, then I'm mad at you. But if you tell me, yo, you're 6 o'clock, bam, it was a situation, this nigga might come over and do some just something weird. Now, if he come over and just speak and feel my energy and be like, all right, this ain't nothing to play with and leave, then fine. No harm foul. But if you try to, speak too long or say too many words, then yeah, it's an issue. Because I know when you took 10 steps this way, you slept with her before. And I would do the same for you. Like, a girl is in the room that I slept with before. I don't want her walking up to you, or I look across the room, go to the bathroom and come back and y'all talking. And I didn't tell you, like, I slept with this girl. You might come back like, oh my God, she's so cool. Like, I got her number. It's like, what the fuck?
First of all, I'm not getting no strangers' numbers.
But I know you're not like that, but I'm just saying, you might, or her Instagram, whatever, it'd been like, damn, like, I gotta say something. It's like, this is weird now.
But you know how, don't get me wrong, I would tell you, but if somebody came, I'd be like, I don't remember, what's your name again? I would act like I didn't even know him.
But what if you know a nigga linger? Oh, you gonna try act like you don't know me? Really, you don't know me?
What's your name again?
For real, you don't know me? I know you. See, that's when it's a problem. It gets like, hold the fuck up, bro. It gets, because motherfucker don't want to, rejection. Oh, you don't know me? You don't know me? Like, to say you don't know me? I wouldn't take that shit. Bitch, you don't know me? I know you know me. God damn. You knew me about 8 times, didn't you?
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
I know what I would say.
Now, how far does that extend, though? So let's change this setting, right?
Okay.
We walk into a restaurant, and it's somebody, maybe seated at a table 2 tables down from us. Same scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just let me know.
What if it's the waiter?
Definitely let me know.
You gonna request another waiter?
Yeah, definitely.
You gonna request another waiter?
Probably. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here.
That's funny.
I'm gonna tell him, I need another waiter. Like, I don't want you. And don't even ask me why. Why you think? Why you think, nigga?
So tell, like, say more words, like you say. Is that part of? Is that just like a man's like you wouldn't take the approach? But wait. Let me ask though. Would you wouldn't feel like almost like I'm gonna let you be our waiter and serve us because I got her now, or you like, nah, I don't even want to be in your presence because just knowing that, like, I know how you are.
Well,
with
first off, I'm the energy I'm gonna give you that now that I know and you're the waiter. I don't want you handling my food. So you might like dip your balls in my food or something like that and like leave her food alone, or like I just don't want you fucking with my food. So yeah, you can get the fuck on, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get the fuck on. Now I can make up some shit on why. You can bring your manager. I can make up some shit why we don't want you, or you can just go get another waiter because you know. So however you want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
definitely think you should tell your spouse, your boyfriend, your long-term partner, your husband, your wife, that if you're in the vicinity of a person, because you don't know how that person's going to react. They may come over and try to speak and may, try to give you eyes, looks, or they may come over and just say hi. Mm-hmm. That's all welcome too. But I need to know before that hi comes in.
I feel you.
So I can gauge the energy, the body language.
I figured you noted, and I respect that. I respect that.
Oh, speaking about shit like this, when have you ever crashed out? And be honest. It's. I'm asking for honesty, please. Whether it was with me or anybody else, just a crash out that you thought, yeah, I crashed out.
So what? I mean, I guess so. This
Crash out means crash out. Like it all encompasses all. It ain't no categories.
I guess it's well,
when you can look at Lil Tasha or Big Tasha and say you bugging. Like you was bugging.
Yeah, it's certain levels. Like the first, a couple thoughts popped in my head. I'll go kind of probably from youngest to oldest, which would be you, of course.
So go those youngest, oldest. This too.
Well, I only got 3 scenarios that I could think of, but real fast. So when I was in high school, my first high school boyfriend, whatever, loving him, all that, and then we broke up. Well, he broke up with me. I think I told you that story before. But we were still cool. And in high school at Girls High, there were payphones that they had throughout the school. So, you get on a payphone, be talking all during your lunch or whatever. And I remember one day him asking me, like, you know some girl named such and such, such, such? And I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, all right. And kind of let me know that, like, he had met her or they was talking, and she was a grade under me. I let her know. I went to school like maybe it was the weekend or something, but when I see her, such and such. Oh yeah, like she was like, yeah, he told me he don't have no girlfriend. I said, he don't, but you're not gonna be his girlfriend either. Like, of all the girls in the world, you are not going, and I know Girls High, you got 400 something girls, pick another one. You're not going to have a girlfriend of somebody in this school that I'm going to have to see every day, because I'm not going to stop talking to you. Like, I didn't want to break up anyway, but yeah, no, I said, nope, I'm not his girlfriend, but you're not going to be either. And so he was like, I can't believe you would say that to that girl, but he ain't stopped talking to me, but that's not going to be your girlfriend. And she was cute too. She was real cute.
I remember a little bit of competition.
I didn't feel like it was competition, but I just felt like, no, pick another girl. You got all these high schools in the city. You got all these females all over the world. You will not have a girlfriend inside this building while I'm here. I remember her name and everything. I'm not going to say it, but like, absolutely not. You will not have a girlfriend in this school. For next situation, little boyfriend situation. And I remember, we had spent some time together for like a couple days, and then one night, like maybe the next night, I called him, and this girl answered the phone, and he lived with his mom, but this girl answered the phone, was like,
They had no sister?
They was little, but so I knew, and she was, and he, you remember sometimes people would have their own phone line, but in their house, so this was his number. She was like, oh, he not home yet from wherever, work, school, whatever. He was in college at the time, but he came home, so. Like, who the hell? So a couple, maybe an hour later, I called back. He not home. I told you he not home yet. I was like, who is this? And she was like, I'm such and such, his girlfriend. His girlfriend. And in my mind, I'm like, I was just with this nigga like for multiple days in a row. And his girlfriend, she was like, yeah. And so she might have hung up on me, or I hung up on her, whatever. So I called back. Is he there? She was like, stop calling this number. I paid his phone bill. And it was a new number. He had just got changed. I said, well, you paid the phone bill, and this number is new. And he still gave it to me. So tell him I called. So the worst part, and I lived with my grandma at the time, and my cousin, we like the same age, and she had a 1-year-old daughter. Y'all, it was winter. This was right after my birthday, so it was January. It was wintertime. We bundled the baby up and we walked. He lived near Nana, so where we live. We walked to the house. Is he home yet?
Y'all are crazy.
And his mom came to the like, who is that? Oh my God, he called me like probably 3:00 in the morning. You came to my house and disrespected my mom. I was like, no, I didn't. When your mom came to the door, I left. I was just cursing out the girl, and I was trying to pull the screen door open, but she would not come out the door.
That's disrespect. That's something. That's
but once the mom came to the door, I left.
But you was yanking on her door.
Yeah. And then this one, you asked me the other week, have I ever staked out? So I think a stakeout is probably like constitutes a crash out. My girl Arlene, shout out to my boo. I love her to death. We was like kind of on the outs for a minute, and I had left the apartment, and then I told her, I was like, drive me up there. And you remember when we used to come out the apartment, and it was like some kind of parking lot across the street. but then across from that you could park. So we was like 2 blocks away, but because it was a parking lot, you could see the apartment door, and you wasn't home. And Rasheen, when I was called, Rasheen was like, no, he not there. And I'm like, he don't go out. What do you mean? Like, he not there. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to catch him. We sat in that car for probably like, I don't know, an hour or two just watching the door. But mind you, we're like 2 blocks away, but because it was a parking lot, it's flat as you can't see it, but we could see our apartment, and just sat there and was watching. And I was like, all right. Then I finally came to the house, and you was there all along. I was like, so maybe he was telling Sheem a lie to me. And Sheem was like, what's going on? I remember Sheem asking, like, what's she doing? What's going on? And I packed my stuff. So, yeah.
That's the 3 crash outs.
Yeah, sorry. But I'm better now. Well, no, that's a lie. I'm better because you don't give me a reason, but I am not above it. All right, so all right. What about you?
We prefaced this by saying we still would crash out for each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's only right. I crashed out 3 times I can think of too. My teenage girlfriend from when I was 14 to 18. We was tumultuous.
Y'all was Bobby and Whitney.
We had tumult with us. So yeah, one night. This is like towards the end of our relationship, but I could go in her mom loved me. I had keys to her house, and I could go in her house, whenever I wanted to. And she didn't come home, or she wasn't answering her phone. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I remember calling her, and she wouldn't answer her phone. And it's like 1:30. She was sending me the voicemail, and I'm crashing out. I'm like spiraling. I'm calling at 2 o'clock. She ain't answering her phone. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I got a car. And I'm driving from my mom's house down to her house. And it took like 10 minutes to drive to her house. And I'm driving down there, and the lights is out, nobody there. And I'm driving back home to think that she's back around the corner from my mom's house, and nobody's there. It's like 3:15 in the morning. Finally, at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I drive down Dolphin Street again, down to her house, and the lights was on, and she was like, no, I pulled in her street, and she was getting out of a car going in the house, and then the car pulled off, and I seen like rolled past, and it was a guy, and then I parked and went in the house, and we was like breaking shit, throwing shit, and then that was one time I crashed out. The second time I crashed out was the same girl had me in my feelings, and I remember she was around the corner from my mom's house at her girlfriend's house. And I went around the corner. I was standing on the corner with the fellas. This is like the craziest shit ever. Standing on the corner with the fellas. I'm texting her. She beeping me back saying like, don't come around here, don't come around here. And I'm like, no, I'm coming around here to get you. And she like, no, don't come around here. I go from shooting dice, walk away from the fellas, walk around the corner. We get into a fight in front of the Powell Center. She whoops my ass. Rips my t-shirt, like rips it off. It's hanging off me like I got jumped. She scratches a big fucking C-shaped scar in my forehead, busts my nose. I come back around the corner, and the niggas is like, what the fuck happened to you? And I'm like, I'm looking like I got jumped, and I'm just like, nothing, man. Like, no, but I remember going in the house so humble and so somber, like, I just like I was hurt. I was hurt. Like hurt. And lastly is when I chased you in dress shoes. And was banging on the fucking.
Let's just say he chased my car that I'm driving with church like slippery dress shoes on.
Like I was like I had a vest on too. Shit. But I was
we were coming from my old job's holiday party.
And
we were in different cars, and I don't know, he went one way out the parking lot. I must have went a different way, but he thought I was going to follow him, so he ain't see me, and he thought I was doing something that I wasn't doing. So the crazy thing is, we both like ended up near our house up like the same time. But as we are approaching our house on a main street, he pulls up behind me, and he jumps out his truck and run up to the car and bang on my car window. And I just pull up like, what the hell?
She just like looked at me and pulled off, and I started chasing this fucking car, like chasing this fucking car.
I'm like, he needs to cool off.
Left my car in the street, and I'm chasing her fucking car. Like, talk about crash out.
Oh my goodness, the things you do for love.
Yeah, talk about crash out. That was unreal. When you think about our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your life and everything you've been through, and my life and everything I've been through. Who's got the best doc?
Oh wow.
And it don't matter. It's not right or wrong. But who would you be like if you saw the two docs? Who would be like more excited to see? Like, damn, I want to check that out if I saw the preview.
So I think, to be honest, I think your story would generate, depending on how it was framed, I think just the intrigue of your story. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to minimize the things that I've been through, but hearing about, people growing up in homes with domestic violence, drug abuse, sexual abuse, is not anything new, unfortunately, in this society. I think it would still be like, damn, like a crazy story, especially then when you add like the other components, like other family members and stuff. It would be a crazy, crazy story. But I think
all the way up until now.
Yeah, but yeah. I think the not many people know of situations like yours that have come out to, like you said, up to now. Mm-hmm. Like to have a life and be on the run for 23 years and like be in plain sight, living and doing all the things like that's not a common, like it's almost like when you do hear stories like that, unfortunately. And I remember there being a story about this man who had, for murder, like it never goes away, like there's no statute of limitation, and they had came and knocked on his door. This man had to be 65 years old or so. He had a wife.
Teenager.
He murdered somebody like 40 years ago, and they finally found him. And when they came and knocked on his door, he kind of like knew, but the wife was like flabbergasted. He was a nice old man, older black man. He had kids, grandkids. I think he was a retiree. So, and I'm saying this to say, I remember that story because you don't hear of many stories like that where people go for such a long period of time. So in your situation, I think that would draw more curiosity, and people like, nah, I gotta see this, like how this happened. I mean, because we've talked about it.
Where was he at? What was he doing?
Yeah,
what you mean he went to work every day? Like,
exactly.
How did he go to work? How did he get a job?
And people like, and I just think in the sense of like making a movie or something like that. When you think about, like, when we think about specific situations of like the Wawa situations that we talked about, the OSHA situation that we talked about, the going to get cars and all those, the fact that you remember the blue truck, like you had a car in your name, so like just all those things, I think that would just really be intriguing to people to see, like how God protected you and how, we made it to this point. Now you put our lives together.
I still would love to see your doc because all
but
those
would you
components.
Well, I'm sorry. Would you think it would be you better or worse? I'm just thinking, better received or more entertaining, for lack of better words, as a documentary or made into a movie? You're like, I was thinking more of a movie. I didn't even realize you said documentary.
I want to keep it on doc.
Okay.
You hit the bullet points and be like, no actors and shit, like just a doc about us. But I would still want to see your doc because all those components you said about mine factor in yours too, just in a different way. So all those things would be like, it would reflect in your doc too. Yeah. And everything from when you was young, going to church, to what happened, to how you got kicked out the house, and like all this shit that happened to you, like, the trauma you went through, like all this shit that happened, the way you used to be as a teenager, like all that shit just wrapped up in a doc would be like, I would want to see like how that came out.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to say the least. And you know what? It's weird because I think to myself, if we had to start like writing down that like oh
If you
the
had to
amount
sit
of
with somebody
time,
and talk,
yeah,
and
like how
talk
do you
about.
condense? I think that's when you end up with like a 7-part series because it's like how do you condense
Well,
that?
you sit down with, well, how I was told it goes, you sit down with somebody and you start from the beginning and tell them, and they just take notes and write a story.
Right.
And then you read it and say, like, okay, this is accurate.
Right.
Or what. But you just tell stories of what happened, and they just taking notes and then they put it into
Storyboards
story
and put it together.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I would want to see I would want to see both of ours, but
Yeah.
I would definitely be intrigued to see yours, to be like, damn, this is what she turned out to be.
But you know what? It's weird saying that. I felt un poquito anxiety, like thinking about seeing my own. Like I don't know if I would. I don't know emotionally. Like I know it. It's in my head. I don't know if I would ever watch it.
Why?
About myself.
Why?
Like reliving some stuff, or like I don't know. Sitting here right now, I'm feeling like that. Like I don't know if I would want to watch it. I mean, I probably would want to see the outcome, but I don't know.
I think it's the ride, the journey.
I don't know if it would feel like reliving.
You're right.
Things.
Some things would be, because I'm thinking back now, some things I would not want to relive. Some things happened to me that I would not want to relive again. But I would want to be like the journey. I know where the journey goes. Yeah. So damn, I would be. I
may skip some episodes.
This person, fast forward, hit the 10-second button a couple times. But I would want to. I know where the journey ends, so it would be like I'm sad now in this half hour of it, but in 45 minutes I'm gonna be cheesing, and I'm gonna be smiling at the end, like it's gonna be a good story, because the end, it turns out well.
We should write a book together. We should, because I've read books that it's where
it's not that. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not that hard.
No, especially if you're talking to somebody. But it's like you said.
No, I'm talking about to get one published is what I'm saying. It's
when you talk about, like you said, your life, my life, from the beginning, it's so separate. But then when you start to see at a certain point, like the paths start to do like this. And then they kind of go separate, and then they go like this again, and then they're intertwined. I think that would be the intrigue of it. Because in the beginning, like I've read books that like each chapter is about a different person, and from the beginning you don't realize what the connection is, and then it's like one little thing that's mentioned, and you're like, oh wait a minute, that's that. Yeah. And then as it starts to evolve, then you realize how the storylines are connected, and how like at the end it's like, okay, these damn people at the beginning that I thought was complete strangers are couples or siblings or best friends. So I think that would definitely be an interesting perspective.
Where everybody was like their brother and sister. Like it started that way.
Like one chapter be Walter, one chapter be Natasha, one chapter Walter, one chapter Natasha, and like it's telling our lives the timelines. And the last chapter
or the last 3 chapters will be Walter and Jamar. I mean, it'll be Walter and Natasha.
Yeah, that's dope. We gotta pray about that. Let God guide our steps.
3 grams. Before we go to 3 grams, LeBron and Bronny stepped on the court last night for the first time. I just have such admiration for LeBron and him coming into the league at 18, watching his whole career. And then I've spoke about this before, but him having his son on the court, like, I don't know whether it's my age or whatever, but seeing that shit is like, damn.
Did his son get minutes?
Yeah, they played. Like they checked in the game together.
That's so
it was like, wow, like that shit is fire.
Can you imagine what the views were on that?
Yeah, like that shit is something to see. Like I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've been watching the NBA since I was a kid. There's never been a father-son duo playing at the same time. Like never. There's been dads and sons that played in the league at different times, obviously because of age, but LeBron is like he's the goat for doing that shit. Having his son out there and then having Zuri over there, his fucking other son, and Savannah, like she gotta be smitten over shit like this.
Did you see his rookie initiation? I think he has I think the car is a Lamborghini. It's a car. I don't know what kind of car it is. I'm not gonna even act like it. LeBron filled it with Fruity Pebbles.
Oh yeah, I did see
Yes,
that. I did see that. I did
oh
see
my
LeBron
God.
filling Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, I did.
And when he opened it, he was like, "What?" He was like, and then LeBron rolled by like and peeked out the window. Yeah. He was like, "You too old to be doing this." That was hilarious. But the funny part, he called his brother, was like, "Bryce, where your keys at? Yeah. Like, I'm not dealing with this." And LeBron was like, "Get my driveway cleaned up."
That's crazy. But that's just so dope to see, man. Like a dude and his son out there playing. Like, I get a chance to see them. My eye is on the radar for those tickets. Like, yeah. I have to see that. Like, father and son, and then who it is, like James Jr. Like, that shit is just so dope, man. It's just so dope. There's nothing but you can just have admiration for that.
They don't play until, I think I looked yesterday, or 2 days ago, February 25th, I think, and it's like a Thursday.
Yeah. See,
I know.
It's like I take off Friday for some shit, because I don't play on weekdays. Yeah. But that is, it's just like, just for Savannah to be like, damn, my husband and my fucking son. Firstborn is out there. That's crazy.
I'm a basketball wife and a basketball mom at the game.
At
like,
the
that's
same
dope.
time. That is crazy.
Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the James.
The James family. That's just so cool. Graham 1. Texas man avenged his brother's death. Did you hear about this?
Did I?
So let's just walk through it, because I'm kind of, Texas man, brother was killed by a guy. Guy went to jail. Texas man gets in close with the guy's baby mother over the course of some years, or time has went past. Gets in close with the baby mom, talks to the baby mom, gets her to FaceTime the guy who killed his brother from jail. You know, your dude always calling, gets him on FaceTime. First, he gets the guy on FaceTime and turns around and stabs the baby mom and kills the daughter. Like, revenge done. I respect holding on to a grudge that long to get your revenge. I do not respect the killing the baby mom and
the daughter.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody do something to you and it's up, it's up. Like, again, I want to be peaceful. I leave out this house every day wanting to be peaceful, but I'm 180 positive and 180 negative. I don't want to be over there, but I can be. But I'm just saying, to somebody do something to you and you hold the grudge, that's fine. But to kill the baby mom and the daughter is insane.
That's when people take eye for an eye, like, to the extreme. Like, you killed somebody I love, I'm killing who you love.
Jesus,
that's crazy.
Christ.
There was another story that I similar, but in a different way. So, a guy had his girl. He was cheating. So the girlfriend created a fake Facebook page and started writing to the guy saying, "You need to stop cheating." So let's say he was with Mary, he was cheating with Susie. Fake Facebook page is messaging him saying, "You need to stop cheating with Susie. You need to stop cheating. Then somehow convinced him, because he was black, but they were Spanish, convinced him that Susie, because of him messing with her, the Mexican cartel was after him. Like, and got it to the point where he was terrified. So he goes to Susie's house and kills her, I want to say her children and her dogs.
Oh yeah,
because he thinking the Mexican cartel is after him. His girl, who again had created the fake Facebook page, he doesn't know, but she gives him an alibi. But the alibi didn't work, so they tried to pack up their stuff to leave or whatever. The cops, I guess, was coming to get them at the time they was leaving. However, the cops found out they was leaving. They go on a high-speed chase. He pulls out the gun and kills her and himself. So it's like, all because, and I don't want to blame it on him, but because he was cheating, everybody ends up dead.
Yeah.
That is insane. So, I mean, the things that people do, like, it's that kind of revenge murder, though.
It's psychopathic.
Yeah.
It's psychotic.
That you can carry, to think about it is one thing, that you can carry it out to that level.
Because you calm down, but again, because nobody can
keep that fake the relationship.
Yeah, and nobody can keep that kind of rage for days in on a time. So he calmed down. He had a premeditated thought of, I'm going to get this girl. I'm going to get with her. And as soon as she get comfortable, I'm going to have him call her. And this is what's going to play out to be. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
And he did it. Like you said, to carry it out it's just crazy.
Yeah. To have a relationship. You built a relationship with her, got in close with, to, that's
the shit that people do in prison.
Yeah.
Like, you know, make friends with you, then 5 years later, fuck you. That's crazy.
Next gram.
Jamie Foxx and Diddy has a correlation. Jamie Foxx did a comedy special. Netflix will be out November 19th, I think, or maybe even October. I think Halloween, maybe. I don't know why I'm thinking the 19th. It may be something else. But Jamie Foxx did a comedy, a special, and said in the special that he had a heart attack or had a situation because Diddy drugged him.
More than a heart attack.
He said that the crowd thought like, he kind of playing, but they said he wasn't.
And so
he wasn't joking.
And I heard that he had said this previously, I guess in an interview. He said he had a headache and somebody who was supposed to be his friend gave him an aspirin and he woke up 30 days later. So it wasn't that he had a heart attack. He said he took the pill, whatever they gave him, and he woke up 30 days later. Now, supposedly they had beef, which I didn't know because of some business deal that went bad, then they made amends. And then this supposedly happened, and they said that he was actually the one that called the feds on Puffy. I don't know if any of this is. I mean, I know the special is true because he said it on stage, but they said he had a serious face, like I'm not joking. Yeah. And I just feel like I don't think he would. I mean, unless we see it and then people just aren't telling the whole story. But I just feel like, why would he? Lying. Yeah, why would he lie?
Yeah, like, especially about that topic.
But why would he joke either without clearly stating I am joking? I don't think he would just lay that out there if it was a lie or if it was a joke and not clear it up.
Especially about that topic, which everybody was waiting for him to talk about what happened to you.
And I never even knew. Like, I didn't know that there was any Puffy correlation to him being sick at all.
Nope, not at all. This is the first time I was ever hearing about it. But again, he didn't speak when he woke up and was back out and talking in the streets and doing shit. He didn't speak. And everybody knew it at some point Jamie Foxx is going to talk. He's going to do some interview and talk about it. And he just said, I'm going to do a special.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make any, cover for Diddy if this is something that he did do. That didn't happen to me to that extent, but that kind of happened to me before, and we kind of became friends out of it.
Somebody drugged you?
I was at work and I had a headache, and this girl Mindy, that we're cool now, she was like, "Oh, I got Excedrin," but she gave me Excedrin migraine, maybe because she takes it. Oh my God, I remember at my desk like, I felt so sick. My stomach was sick. I was like, what did you give me? And that's what she was like, it's Excedrin. I had never taken that.
Can't take migraine medicine if you don't diagnose for migraine.
And I think she realized too then, like, oh crap, like maybe she has migraine, so that's why she has it. But thank God it wasn't anything worse. It just made me like nauseous. It made my headache worse. Like I felt dizzy after, I drank some water that kind of worked its way out of my system. I felt better in a few hours, but you got to be careful taking pills.
Yeah, if this is true, this is going to be bad. This is what I feel. If this has any hint of truth to it, this is going to be super, super, super bad for the culprit.
Now, talking about Diddy real fast, and I know this isn't one of the grams. His son, who's really I'll Be Sure's son, Quincy, he has a new show. I don't know if it's like on TV or no, it's on YouTube, and it's called It's Just a Vlog. But it's like him recording the family over, I don't know how much time, but it's been over some time, like them on vacations, them at home together. I think just because of the sensationalism in this society, like people just wanting to see and be nosy and see what's going on, see if they can pick up on anything, that he probably hit a lick with this.
Probably.
Like the views that this is probably going to gain from this.
What the fuck you got to say and what are you showing?
And because we've only ever seen we've never seen like the insides of their family.
And we know their whole life is recorded.
Right.
Like all of it's documented for the reason of a documentary someday. So all that shit is documented.
Mm-hmm.
Last gram. be careful. There's pink cocaine out there. The actor that died in Argentina who fell out the who fell out the hotel window had pink cocaine in his system. Pink, can you bring the picture I sent you up? Pink cocaine. And Lamar Odom spoke about this and said he had this in his system when he had 7 heart attacks and 5 strokes.
Wow, that's crazy. So pink cocaine, I don't know, you texted it to me. Mm-hmm. So pink cocaine, it says that it's called Tusi. It's a recreational drug that contains a mixture of psychoactive substances, most commonly found in pink dyed powder, known as pink. So Tusi is called pink cocaine, but it's really psychoactive. It's believed to have originated in Latin America around 2018. So for, those Latin America, right? Drug checking studies in Latin America report it to be a concoction of ketamine, MDMA, which is ecstasy, right? Mm-hmm. Cocaine, meth or methamphetamine, caffeine, opiates, and other new psychoactive. So it's just a mix of everything. Because opiates is like heroin. Yeah. You got cocaine, you got ketamine, you got ecstasy, meth, and ecstasy. So you got
uppers and downers, uppers and downers, uppers and downers. Wow. All wrapped in one.
Existing literature suggests there is no standard of proportioning. So they just make it. You don't know if it's 10%. This, 2% like they just sprinkling it all into like a everything drug. That sounds insane. Now, what was his name? Liam what?
If you put in Liam, I'm sure it'll come up because it's new news.
Liam Payne. Yeah. My question about him, though, okay, he was English, which I thought, this is not funny, but this just goes to show you how social media is. So in our county where we live, right, there's a Facebook page. This is not our township, but the county. I don't know if you on that one. Some girl posted, hey, everybody, just to let you know, I don't know if you heard about what happened to this gentleman, but we're holding a candlelight vigil at such and such or such if you want to join. And people were like, no thanks. Like, they were going in like, what the hell are you having a visual for him for? And I think, at first I was thinking like, this is some groupie fan stuff. But I think her intent, and this is me giving benefit of the doubt, was to shed light on addiction and how addiction can wreak havoc and cause people to lose their lives. But the way she presented it, and that's why I wanted to look him up, because I'm like, he's from our county, but he's English. So that answered my question. He's not from, he's not even from the U.S., let alone our county. But I wouldn't have said anything mean to her like these people did. But I was genuinely confused, like, a candlelight vigil, like, why is she doing it? Like, this is but people were going in. They was like, what about the people that died in that hurricane? Have a vigil for them. And this one lady, she told the lady, like, well, if you want to, you have a vigil for the hurricane victims. And this lady said, I would, but I'm at home currently dying from cancer. I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, this is too much. They went in on this lady because she wanted to have a vigil for this man, which I think is strange too. But okay, if you don't want to go, just don't go. But they were coming at her.
But that's cocaine crazy. Is out there. It's not. I haven't heard about it on the streets or on the news or anything. But I
heard of Tusi from. I didn't know that was pink cocaine. My favorite show.
I was going to say, I haven't seen it on To Catch a Smother.
I have. I'll find the episode and show you. Yeah,
pink cocaine. But again, it was even more strange to me, and I had forgot that Lamar Odom had 7 heart attacks and 5 strokes.
Yeah, most people are probably I'm assuming, right? Because a fallacy of mine, trying to give people benefit of the doubt. I want to assume that people taking this don't really know what's in it, because I would think, once you know what's in it, something in your mind would have to say, no, dog, that's too much. You have to just have no care for your life to take anything that is heroin, cocaine, and meth. Just those 3. Heroin, cocaine, and meth mixed together.
It's the high. So you can't say
how high do you want to be?
It's not about how high you want to be. It's about addiction. So let's just be sensitive there. When people get addicted to shit, it's not about what's in it. People take ecstasy and fentanyl and they know that shit'll kill you, a pinch will. But there's people out there who take straight fentanyl. Like, it ain't mixed with nothing. There's people addicted to fentanyl.
Well,
take
what you
that shit
said.
every day, who see it on the news and know that a tip of a grain of rice can kill a human, but they still snort it and still shoot it because they probably think, oh, I've been doing it, I have a tolerance for it. They just ain't shot the right amount yet. But yeah, it's about addiction. And when people are addicted to something, it's different. It's not about the high or how high I want to be. It's I can't stop doing this thing. And no, I'm not thinking about it's 7 drugs in one. Like,
That's insane.
yeah, it's crazy. But it is what it is. That's a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 198, coming to a close. Instagram us, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, and Player FM. Catch us on those platforms. Type us in. We pop up, talk a little shit. We talk a little shit back. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We enjoyed bringing it to you. It's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Tasha, who's with the mostest.
If you fuck with us, you fuck with us. If you don't, you should.
Peace. Be kind, everyone.